Hi, I'm Kathy.
And I'm Maddie.
And we are Wheelchair Adventures. So we wanted to continue on and tell you about our European cruise. So we left off where kind of one cruise ended and the other ones began in Tarragona, Spain. So the next day, do you remember where we went? There were a lot of boats. She doesn't. It was Cannes, I always call Cannes, but I think it's called Cannes, France. And it was a tender port, and Maddie can't get off on tender ports.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No. So we ended up spending the day just out and just watching. There were so many boats. Have you ever seen?
Oh yeah, that was when we went outside and we were just watching the boats.
Yeah, we had lunch out on the Terrace Cafe, and just I've never seen that many boats, yachts.
How many do you think we saw?
Hundreds in this one area. And there was one, and I put pictures up on our Instagram and Facebook of one yacht, 6-bedroom, 15 crew.
Yeah.
So 12 people can be on it for a week.
Yeah.
And it will only cost you 650,000 euros.
Yeah.
Which is about $687,000 for the week, you know?
Yeah.
You got a little extra change and you want to do something different.
Oh my God.
There you go.
That's insane.
I know. It was crazy. It was huge though. Huge.
It was.
So yeah, we didn't get off. My husband did, and he went and walked around. I had been there, but whatever. We were just happy to
we
just watch. I mean, it was just sailboats and just to watch. That just, I don't know how they didn't run into each other. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the next day was a big day. We went into Rome, where the port that's, I can't pronounce it, Cittadini or, you know I'm not pronouncing anything right. But
yeah, you don't pronounce it.
Hey.
And I don't either, so.
It's about an hour, it was on a Sunday outside of Rome. So we took a Tours by Local tour, and the driver picked us up and took us into Rome, and then we met our guide right outside of Vatican City. And we got out, and it was a funny story. Maddie, I've been to Europe a lot, but Maddie never had. So where the driver dropped us off, there was a soldier with a machine gun, automatic rifle.
Yeah, that was a little scary.
So, yeah, Maddie was just frightened right away because she's never seen that where I'm used to it.
Yeah.
She goes, that is the biggest gun I've ever seen.
It was awful. It was terrifying.
I know, he's sitting there just, and then
like,
later on, we'll tell you about another run-in with the soldiers.
Yeah.
But, so that woke her up. She was like, oh, I'm awake now. So when our guide came along, she said, and this was about, I don't know, 10:30 maybe, she said, when we got into Vatican City, she said the Pope is going to come out at noon and do his weekly address and his blessing.
Awesome.
Do you want to stay? And we're like, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want to stay and see the Pope? So we went into, we walked around, was it St. Peter's Square?
Yes.
I believe so. And the Basilica, and we went in to the church, and we spent some time in there. And it was just beautiful. I've been there before again. Maddie had never seen it.
It was really huge. It was huge.
Mm-hmm. And and it's beautiful. We were supposed to go on a normal day on the tour. We would go in the Vatican Museum and the Sistine Chapel, but since it was Sunday, they're closed. and there was a service going on in the church. So we went outside, and at 12 o'clock, Pope appears, and he says some words that we have no idea because they're all in Italian.
They're all in Italian, but
and he blessed everybody, and
that was amazing.
Fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we went to have lunch in an Italian restaurant. Maddie got true Italian food.
Fettuccine Alfredo.
Yes.
But next time we go to Italy, I am gonna have pizza.
Yeah. Pizza's good. I had carbonara, which
you did. That's
I
right.
love carbonara. First time I've ever had carbonara was in Italy a long time ago. So we got back in, and then the driver took us over to the Colosseum.
Yeah.
And I wanted Maddie to see that. Trevi Fountain, it's hard to get there. You can't get close. I just said, we
can see that one in Vegas. There's a replica in Vegas.
It's sad. So. It is a replica, but it was just not
possible.
And again, there were a lot of stones, so it's not easy to travel around in a wheelchair.
Nope. But that's okay. We make it work.
Mm-hmm. So we went over, and our driver left us off by the Colosseum, and again, we had a encounter with some soldiers.
Yeah.
And because they had it blocked off, and in order for us to have an easy access into the area where the Colosseum was, our guide,
spoke Italian.
Well, of course she spoke Italian, but they let us through. They opened where they were at, and we walked through where they were. So again, Maddie saw two soldiers, and they saluted her, and she walked on through, and they had their
I saluted them back, but it was still very scary. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. So we went into the Colosseum. Well, at first, it was the first Sunday of the month, so the admission was free. And
nice.
We kind of walked outside a little bit, and then I said, I really want Maddie to go inside. And the guide said, okay, let's go over and get our free tickets. And then we went over, and the line was long. And she said, she goes, we're going to be in line for a long time. So we said, okay. But a man overheard us, and I don't know exactly what he was doing at the Colosseum. Maybe selling something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he overheard us, and he told her, no, you don't have to wait in line because Maddie's in a wheelchair. You just go and you tell the person that's taking care of the line.
Cool.
And he'll get your tickets for you.
Yeah.
So she did, and there was another group of young men who were either in wheelchairs or had prosthetic legs, and they did the same thing. And so we got in. There was an elevator in the Colosseum. We didn't go around the whole thing. First we just
saw the basics.
She talked to somebody, and they just let us go in instead of having to go around following the whole crowd. We just went directly to the hot spots, the best places to see the Colosseum. So it was great. It's amazing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I always talk about
so much
Rome.
history.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, history just goes over my head. I don't pay much attention. I mean, I try to,
but it's hard when you're across the world and they're telling you history of this and that. But when you go there and you actually see the monuments, when you see, just hear the stories and the gladiators, and it was really cool.
Great.
It was really cool for Maddie to get to see that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yes. So we got back, and we went on to the Amalfi. Well, we were supposed to go to Positano, but somehow we ended up at Amalfi. which I've been to Positano, not Amalfi. Again, it's a tender port. It's not going to happen.
But you were able to get off.
Yeah, I got off for just a little bit.
Because you wanted to, because it's just absolutely gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, it was gorgeous. Again, just sitting outside and looking at it from the water it's beautiful. Yes. And again, we have pictures on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
So then we went off to worst place for accessibility. Where would that be?
Messina,
Italy.
No. Yeah.
Sicily, Italy.
Yeah, Messina.
Sicily,
was
Italy.
The worst.
But Messina is where we were. Oh my. Yeah. The bell tower was beautiful. We got there at noon, and at noon every day it has this
a show,
12-minute show of just it chimes Ave Maria or and
there's all these sculptures that come to life.
A lion roars and a rooster
crows
and it's beautiful.
That's great.
So if you go to Messina and you're in a wheelchair or have any walking problems, don't. Just go to the bell tower.
Yeah,
and go back to the ship.
Don't bother.
No, Maddie wanted to go to the shopping district, so my husband had found a map. Oh my gosh, no cutouts.
It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and just the conditions of all the roads, all the sidewalks was just horrible. We were so happy to get back to where we could get back on the ship. But we did have good pizza, right? We had focaccia pizza.
Focaccia pizza was delicious.
But don't even.
Yeah, don't even bother going to Messina. No.
Well, if you're there, just go to the bell tower.
Yeah.
Noon every day, there's a show. Don't try anything else. Just take it from us. And you can look. It's a big square where the bell tower is. You can see, the different streets.
Just go back to the ship.
Yeah. So let's go on to one more, and then we will wrap it up, and then we'll talk again because I don't want to just.
Really, you don't want to.
We will. We'll do another one, but there's just so much to talk about in different places. That's true. So, okay. So the next day we went on to Valletta, Malta. Loved it. Did you love it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Again, difficulties. Our ship, and we'll talk about it on our ship review. The ramp is not always the ramp. But anyway, we didn't dock at the main ship terminal. We docked across the water, and then there was a ferry to get across to the main terminal. That ferry was not accessible. What happened? And we saw when we got off the ship, we saw some taxis, and we should have just taken a taxi. But they said, no, the ferry will take you over. And we were meeting a tourist by local person. Yeah. So, no. Some crew members helped us get onto the ferry because you had to go up, and then you go down, and then you go over, like sometimes ships have a step. To get into. It was horrendous. So we ended up taking a taxi back, just taking a taxi from Valletta, Old Town Valletta, to the cruise ship because I wasn't going to go through that again. Our guide did say that another ferry was accessible, but I don't think they have a dock over there. So if they tell you have to take a ferry, I would ask and just take a cab.
Yeah.
And we actually found in Valletta, when we got one back to the ship, it was a wheelchair one. Maddie just rolled up and off we went.
Yep.
So they do have them there. I don't It's very, I don't see them very often. Have you seen very many?
No.
So they do have wheelchair accessible cabs. But anyway,
Yep.
we met our guide at the main terminal after we got off the ferry. Again, the crew from Oceana Marina helped us. We met her and we walked over to this elevator that was amazing. It was so big. And it took us up to Old Town Valletta. And that was pretty, I mean, the Old Town was pretty accessible. But the streets going down where they used to not have an elevator, it's just like this. So, but we were able to get around. We, remember Valletta? It was so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty. And we had lunch, and then we just went around and heard some history.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did some shopping, as always, shopping.
You have to shop at every port, or I did.
Maddie does. So, yeah, we really, really, really liked Valletta. It was just so pretty. And accessible. I mean, after that ferry, I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stones, I mean, the walkways are pretty good in the town. Yeah, it's just, as long as you don't go down, you just take the elevator back down, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and that's so far. I mean, not so far. We have gone to other places, but we'll tell you more in another segment so we can break it up because,
yeah, that's true.
We've been talking. It's like 16 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So, again, look on Facebook under Wheelchair Adventures, Instagram under Wheelchair Adventures 8564.
Yep.
I've posted pictures of all of our travels so far on this trip. So it's really, it's beautiful. I love Europe. And we're going to a lot of places that even I've never been. So it's really fun.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I am Kathy.
And I'm Maddie.
And we are Wheelchair Adventures. If you haven't already, subscribe.
Yeah, it means a lot to us.
All right. Bye.
Bye.